All right, guys, so when we're maintaining the mount, it's really critical that every element that we've learned so far is in play. That means that if I have my hands low and wide and I'm centered, but I don't keep pressure on him, he's going to roll me out. If I keep pressure on him, but my hands are like this, close, right, then he's going to roll me out. I have to have everything in play at once. If he pushes me to the side and I only hug the head, but I don't make the base, I'm going to go. If I only do this, but I don't find some type of anchor, he may more easily break me down. So I want everything to remain working up to this final movement here as is, so that we move from the existing stability that we've created. So the hands are low and wide. I'm centered over him. The feet are together with the knees barely touching the ground, persistently crushing the gut. And here we go. This guy now is someone who's very, very strong. And he doesn't waste time trying to push me off to the side or the other, or trying to break the arm down. He just wants me off. And he possesses the ability to grab me by my chest and push me straight to the sky. Of course, now that's going to make me very light. And why is it going to make me light? Because the knees are already off the ground. So when he pushes me up and my knees are already off the ground, go ahead. Look, there I go. And see, my legs became straight and I wasn't able to grab anything before I fell. So if I find myself in a situation against a much stronger opponent and I see that he's reaching underneath me to bench press me, two things have to happen at once. The first thing is that I want to hang all my weight over him. So as soon as I feel his hands touch, I'm going to round my back like this to get ready to hang my weight. The second thing is the hands are already on the ground, so I'm going to use them to walk my knees in. I don't want my knees stuck up in the air where now everything becomes light and I levitate right off. I want to walk my knees in. And then as he starts to extend me, which he does from a very low position, because of course I'm covering him, when he extends me up, my knees are on the ground, and look, I just hang my weight. He may lift them off for a second like he did because he's able to do that because he's strong. But if I keep all my weight on him, it's hard for him to hold that position for a while. So once he's fully extended, right, like this, and my knees are on the ground and I'm over him like this, I'm going to pick a side. And I'm just going to make that side light. Look, I just move the shoulder out of the way and swim the hand down to the ground by his head. And then I move the other shoulder out of the way and swim the hand down to the ground behind his head. If I stay here, this is not the mount maintenance we talked about, right? I immediately go back, wide as possible, low as possible, feet together, hips persistently crushing, right back to my original position. If I stay here, I give him more leverage and more space to reach his hands in and bench press me very easily. Why not make him start from the lowest possible position every time? Why not? Right? The more difficulty I can put him in by using the control of the space, the better advantage I create for myself, and the more tired he becomes, and the more quickly he tires as well. I'm wide and low. My feet are together, but we just started the drill, right? Or we just started the fight or whatever. So maybe he's got enough energy left. So when I feel him going under me like this to bench press me off, I know I need to get my knees back in front and then hang my weight. So here we go. He goes for the bench press, and I walk my knees up and look, just hang my weight. Now I make him hold me for a couple seconds because this is going to make the arms tired. And then look, I just move the weight off of one shoulder. Just roll it back, right? Move it back. Make that side light, and the hand goes to the ground, right by his ear, right? I don't want to reach too wide or get out here. Don't make this mistake. Very big mistake. I think most people who make the mistake make this one. They try to take this arm and throw it off. And it's easy for him to do a swim and come back in and either pull the arm or go right back to the chest and continue to throw me. And now because I've done this, I've leaned myself this way, and I'm gone. Right? So don't do that. Just the same way we kept the elbows in the same position when we did the low swim every time. I don't want to move beyond my necessary range. Just lay the weight on him when he bench presses me up. The knees go to the ground, lay the weight on him, make one side light, and swim it and put the hand right on the ground. Now use the pressure on that hand to make the other shoulder light and swim right to the ground. As soon as I get to the ground, walk myself out as low and as wide as possible. Knees back, barely touching the ground, feet together, and persistently crush the gut. And we just run through this drill. So here we go, bench press, he's underneath me. Knees to the ground, hang the weight, one shoulder, swim. One shoulder, swim. Low and wide, and crush again. Bench press again. Knees, hang the weight over him. One shoulder, and swim. One shoulder, and swim. And immediately get low and wide again. And the more you cover him, the harder it's going to be for him to bench press every time. And eventually his arms will become tired enough. Perhaps you give yourself a submission. Perhaps you give yourself a straight arm lock or an Americana, right? So take advantage of tiring the opponent out. The goal is not submission. The goal is to maintain the position so that you always have the dominant role in the fight. You can keep yourself safe. If the submission is necessary, then at least you've tired the opponent out so you can reach that level. But right now we're just working the positional control. Okay, so without a partner, as soon as I feel that the hands are under me, it's an indicator, right? The hands touch the chest or stomach, indicator that he's going to bench press me off. I'm already low and wide, the feet are already together with the persistent pressure in the hips. As soon as he pushes me up, I need to immediately get to my knees and then hang the weight over him. One shoulder gets light, and I swim it in by the head. Now I use the pressure on the hand to make the other shoulder light and swim it in by the head, and immediately get low and wide, feet together, pressure on the knees. Pressure on the hips with the knees barely touching the ground. And we just run through this drill several times. All right, makes sense? Let's go.